Think big, think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem. Nothing you have ever witnessed will prepare you for the absolute carnage you're about to witness. It's Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and a huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I'm plugged from technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure. You're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. Wow, 2020 is almost done, and I can't determine if it's taken a long time to get to this point or it's moving really fast. I know it's somewhere in between, and I know many people are like, oh my goodness, thank God, please get this year in the rear view mirror as fast as possible. But before 2020 is complete, we have a lot more programming here for you on Thrive Loud. I just looked at it, and there's something like another 5 or 6 episodes, even before the end of the year, maybe even more, with some special episodes as well. One, if you're looking at the episode count, the 555th episode. We're calling that the triple nickel. Stay tuned for that one. That's going to be interesting. And it also seems that I lost the keys to the studio, and my interns got a hold of it. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but if anyone could find me the keys and send them to me, it'd be great. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in there, but rumor is that I have no access to the scheduling of the episodes anymore, and I'm a little concerned. Ahead of all that, we've got some great guests coming up as well, and you're really going to enjoy it, let alone we already have recorded several episodes into 2021. I think the entire month of January has already been recorded and booked. So lots of great content for you, the Thrive Loud community, coming up. Speaking of which, this is one of my favorite people in the world that you're about to connect with. We did a Thrive Loud live catch-up episode on LinkedIn earlier this month, actually at the end of last month, and you're going to love hearing from her, the amazing Jen du Plessis, who's inspirational, a heck of a marketer, really good podcaster, and a really good friend. So we're going to have a fun conversation as you hear Jen and I speak. And you're also going to have a cameo appearance from her husband, who literally popped in the middle of the interview having no idea that we were recording, which made it all the more fun. She's the implementation ninja. So stand by, sit back, relax, and enjoy this great conversation pulled from a Thrive Loud Live episode with Jen du Plessis. Welcome, everyone, to a special episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond. We are live for many of you on Instagram and Facebook, and I am completely honored and thrilled to bring back one of my favorite people. I shared the stage with her. I've been on multiple podcasts with her. She's been on this program before. She continues to light up the entire social sphere wherever you see her because she's just that awesome. Wow. Thrive Loud listeners and viewers on YouTube and LinkedIn, Jen du Plessis. Jen, welcome back to Thrive Loud.
Thank you. I'm so excited, Lou. Anytime we get a chance to talk, it's going to be fun. So
we're giving
hang on.
We're giving the caveat to both of our spouses that you and I are here and we are just doing work and business and promoting each other. Yes, because they both have been like, why are they talking to each other again? No. Jen, I wanted to catch up with you. Actually, this is a funny story. I was going with my interns through previous episodes. You know, we would create these mini-sodes and other special things. And you and I had just connected because we were catching up on something. And I go, oh my God, I got to have Jen on Thrive Loud Live because we haven't had her on this yet. Yeah. So I'm excited to bring you back. How are you doing?
Well, I'm excited to be here. Can't wait.
So tell me what's going on. What's been hot of late? This has been an interesting year in your world, all the things that you're doing. Maybe just bring our viewers and listeners up to speed.
Yeah. Well, I've loved COVID, to be honest with you. I have.
Very few people I love COVID. Yeah.
I loved COVID. I still love it. It has been what I needed. I mean, it was the knock on the door that I actually needed to, stop all the chaos that I speak about. I talk and I teach about that. And isn't it funny how the plumbing's always bad and the mechanic's houses or car is always not running. And, here I was just running around, as you know, you and I were kind of bouncing all over the place, a couple of years ago. And when I stopped, now I could do all the things I needed to do, all the admin, all the things I needed to do in my business. So I've been saying, it's not what COVID did to me, but what it did for me. And so it's been a great year. It has been a great, great year. And I just wonder, imagine what would it be like if COVID didn't happen? Where would I be in my practice? And I don't think I'd be as far along as I have. So it's been great. It's been fantastic.
Well, so I remember this. You and I had this chat. What's been the thing that it helped you clear up and focus the most on? Because that was in our last conversation when you and I caught up. I said, that's something that I think our listeners would love to hear about.
Yeah. I hope I'm going to say the thing that you hope that.
Yes. What you're planning for.
If not, you'll let me know. So, when COVID started in March, I had just come back from Vegas, and it was all cramped and everything. And we were all walking the streets together as we do in Vegas. And, I just come back from there and I knew that we were going to be locked down for at least 6 weeks because no one really knew what was going to happen. Right. So I instituted the 12-week year. So I accelerated my practice 1 year in 12 weeks. And it was a lot of work and it was tough. But in that period of time, I hired 3 people. I changed up all my programs. I was able to do a bunch of recordings. There were just so many things that I could be able to do. And literally every week represented a month worth of work that, I was just dismissing by traveling so much. One day I'll get to it. So that's probably the biggest thing. And that got me all kinds of clarity. And, from there, it's just been, now putting all that in place. And of course, when you go down some type of a road, you have twists and turns and ups and downs and figuring out what's going to work. But, that gave me the grounding that I needed in order to be able to develop that roadmap. So that's probably the biggest thing. And so now when the COVID cocoon is over with, I'm going to be emerging as a beautiful butterfly and not shrivel up.
You're already a beautiful butterfly.
Oh,
let's make that clear.
Thank you.
So let's actually talk about that, because this is something that people have been asking at the time we're capturing this right now. Obviously, vaccines are being produced and they're coming and they're trying to be distributed. And obviously, we know that we're in the winter, and someone had said this recently, like we're planning for our spring. We're planting right now for all the things that are coming. Yeah. As you look towards this hybrid world that we might be getting to, where we're doing a lot of this virtual communication that you and I are doing versus a lot of the getting back and starting to ease into it, have you structured your business and your practices in a way that could play in both spaces?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I think we have to, right? Because we just don't know. My next event is February 4th through the 7th. And, everyone says to me, well, where is it going to be? And I said, I don't know yet. It's going to be, a hybrid. It's really cool because I actually traveled last month or a month and a half ago, had the opportunity to be on stage in a hybrid situation. I thought, I have to get out. I have to get on an airplane and see what it feels like. And, it was like riding a bike. I got in there and did my normal thing. And, but it's really cool because it was a studio in Atlanta and it was set up so everybody was 6 feet apart and on tables and stuff like that. But then we had like 5,000 people online. And so you were talking to the audience, you were talking to people on screen, and it was just really cool. And my hope is that's what I'm going to be doing in February. I'm going to be going down to Atlanta, and some people will show up. Most will be online because I don't think everybody's quite ready to do that. But that's what that event is. So I'm setting it up as a hybrid event. I've had lots of events already this year virtually, and they've been great. Great. It's funny. I've been using this screen. Where is that? The screen behind me.
Screen over there.
I had to get that because Brian kept walking back and forth naked. And
Brian, we will give him a lesson every now and then on
I know,
how to wear.
Yes, be aware, honey. But no, he would walk back and forth. He wasn't naked, but he had his shirt off one day. And I was like, no, that can't work. So we actually used that as a stage. So we played the music and I stood back there and I came around the corner and I was like, woo, I'm walking on stage. And, you have to do what you have to do, right? To feel like you're connecting with people. But yeah, so that first event's going to be hybrid. The subsequent workshops that I'll have next year, we're just going to have to see what happens with them. They may have to be hybrid as well. But I think I'm probably going to do some hybrid things. I want to mix it up.
It's already happening. I was going to give it like next week. I'm actually working with this company. And while I'm virtual on this piece, they're actually in hybrid bunches where many of them are aggregated in smaller groups at different parts of the country. And they are physically together. So there's a component to that that's pretty cool. And I think it's going to be the new wave of how events get run.
I think so too. It's so much more cost effective. It's all about the content. And yes, you can have souped up whatever backgrounds and whatever. But for me, it's the content. It's what I'm delivering to the people. It's not whether I have some souped up background or, and that kind of stuff. But that said, I am changing my office. I'm just not going way overboard. But yeah, I just think that, really what people want and crave right now is this knowledge, right? We talked about knowledge brokers. Everyone just wants a lot of knowledge for whatever decision they're making, whatever transition they're feeling about doing. And, and I think that's where it's happening. But we do have Zoom zombieism.
Okay, so let's dive down Zoom zombieism and what that is to you, because that's great.
Yeah, because so many people are saying, I think what the other word for it? I called it zombieism. Like I'm walking.
I think Zoom fatigue has been the most common one.
But and I was like, no, it's zombieism. And it really stems from, and I don't want to be the expert on this, but I was talking to a colleague of mine. It really stems from the fact that we want the information, we want to attend these meetings to connect with people. But 50% of what we do is verbal, right? It's what the words I'm saying. The other 50, and I probably don't have the right numbers, right? But 50% is verbal. The other 50% is body language. Yeah. But we're missing 25% of the body language by only seeing us get dressed up from the waist up, right? And so what happens is we're hearing the words and we're connecting the movement I'm making here, but we're missing that lower half of it. And so our mind is always like loading the information as we're hearing it. And it actually emotionally fatigues us. That's why we're fatigued.
It's true. Yeah. By the way, I'm waiting for someone to do this, whether it's SNL or some creative YouTuber. I want to see a whole Zoom show of people with their real pants. Like it's actually showing from the waist down. Then that's all it shows. And you just go from person to person and it just shows whether a skirt or pants are short. And I think like having that would just be spectacular.
Oh, I know. Well, mine's going to have a blanket. I'm always got a blanket on. So I'm always cold.
Let's talk about things you're looking to get back to outside of the workplace. Things that as we start to get back together and start aggregating, you're a pretty social person. You have a wonderful family, and many friends and all that stuff. What's the thing that you're craving the most to do?
Okay. There's two things I'm craving the most to do, but I'll start with what's most important in my life. I am a Eucharistic minister for my church. I'm Catholic. I'm a Eucharistic minister, and I'm used to delivering communion to those that are in hospice and are homebound. Mm. I can't do that. And so my heart's missing that. And it's it gets me a little emotional because I'm missing that piece of being able to go to people's homes and, be there for them and have that, it just reminds me of how powerful life is. So that's one thing that's number one that I can't wait to get back to. The second is, and dancing. Yeah. I've got to get back to dancing. I haven't been dancing since March, and I try to dance around the house with a nobody there. I'm like, but I still need my dance partner. I need my instructor. So he and I talk on the phone, but that's about as far as it goes. There's just no opportunity to dance. It drives me nuts.
It's actually really interesting. I was trying to think of things that I missed. Concerts is a big one for me, like getting that energy of people together and live music. Yeah. I think sporting events, but I'm not necessarily. Fortunately, they've been bridging the gap enough for I still am laughing like when you watch a baseball game or a basketball game and the cardboard people in the stands. That's my favorite. And it's just so weird. The other thing that's weird is they're pumping in the noise of the crowd that would be there.
Yeah. Well, hey, and listen, I want to tell you something. I went out and got, because you can get it on Spotify and a whole bunch of different places. I got crowd clapping soundtracks, and I use it in my events, my virtual events, because it's really weird, because you're a speaker. You come online and it was like, so let's give a big welcome to and some people you're seeing are this, and some have their, like I have all these little emoji things, right? And I'm going, wow, or LOL, or you're doing something. But then when someone's done, there's silence.
It's so weird. You're right.
It's weird. And so I had my creative director put in, yay. So they felt something when they walked off instead of everybody standing there going on mute or like whatever they're doing, So if they're even online, because they show up and then they go hide in the closet. I can't imagine that you would go to a networking event, check in, say hello to a couple people, and then go, I'm going to go sit in the closet for this meeting, because I don't want my face to be shown. I mean, you look like what you look like, so go with it.
Jen, thank you for saying this, because it drives me crazy that I have to tell people to turn their cameras on. The purpose of it, if I wanted to do an audio conference call where we didn't need to see everybody, we just needed a bunch of people, that's fine. But if you're meeting, it's like an internal meeting, and that's a great description. I'm going to go in the closet, or I'm going to leave the conference room that we would have been in person and just hang out at my desk while this meeting is
I'm going to go behind that black curtain behind the stage, and so, how you all doing? Good. That's great. It's just crazy. It's just crazy how people do it. But yeah, so, I agree with you. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see, and it was funny when you said that about the baseball or whatever, because that's probably the worst one. Well, I don't know. I've seen a couple NBA, and that's kind of funny too. It'd be really cool to get everybody's picture. And I do have your picture because, I'm putting together the Keep Smiling book right now.
Right. Yeah.
And, but I have your picture. It'd be pretty cool to get cutouts of everybody and just kind of post them behind me and have it look like a bench.
Actually, Jen, it's so great that you bring that up. Share with the listeners and the viewers what this is, because I remembered when I received this email, and I also want to rewind here. What a heartfelt way what you talked about how you're missing helping the people who are in that critical stage in their life. And I think it's so important. Like, that is such an aspect that we're all missing. Like, people are missing it with their family members. And this is an unbelievable thing that makes you as amazing as you are. But let's talk about this book you're putting together, The Smiles, because I think it's a great program and our listeners would love to hear about it.
Yeah, Keep Smiling. Well, yeah, and it's the Umbrella Syndicate, right? It's with Ken Rochon, and he's known as Dr. Smiley, and he just got his doctorate degree, which is really cool. But anyway, he's known as Dr. Smiley, and he's a photographer who goes around and takes pictures. And he's taken pictures of you. He's at everything that you can possibly think of. He's been on the Marketers Cruise. He's been at City Summit. He's been at NMS, which is New Media Summit. But he goes around and takes pictures of everyone holding these cards that say Keep Smiling. And Keep Smiling is a 501(c) that helps children who are hungry. And so there's like this, charitable attribute to everything that he does. And, he's just such a giving man. And so he approached me and said, hey, I'd like to do a Keep Smiling book with you. So actually, we're going to be doing two. This one that's coming out is Success to Significance. The next one will be mortgage specific. People in the mortgage industry that have, and real estate, because that's where I came from, that have been instrumental. And, all the proceeds go I shouldn't say, they do. I mean, all the proceeds go to charity, because it's not like I'm selling this book anywhere. The proceeds go to charity, and I'll have bunches of them with me. But my charity that I chose is Boulder Crest Retreat, which is for veterans. It's here in my village of Bluemont. Our town is so small, it's called a village. So the village of Bluemont, and it's for external and internal injuries that veterans have experienced. And it is a retreat. It's not a conference. It's not I can't even explain it. It's just the coolest place in the world. It is a retreat. It's calm. It's quiet. It allows you to just kind of center, and the people are just absolutely wonderful. So all the proceeds are going to go to that for that particular event. And I believe you're in the podcaster one too, aren't you? In the Keep Smiling podcaster version?
I am. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. It was better for you to plug it than for me.
Yeah, no, that's good. And you're in that one as well, and you're in mine as well. And then they had, he just came out with the dose one, which I can't remember what it stands for, but we all wrote a chapter in it. It's 3,000 pages. It's a block. So the book is about that big, and so it's a block that way as well. So It's really exciting that's coming out too, and just all kinds of stories from all kinds of influential leaders and people like you.
And like yourself. Listeners now get the whole gist and why we brought Jen back here, because she's so much fun to connect with. Jen, one of the things that we did not do the last time you were here was we didn't do the full Fun Street thing with you. So I want to revisit that with you. I know you're prepared. Look at me.
I don't even know what it is. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So let's do a catch up. I'm going to bring the full version of this because I probably asked you the first time you were on the program what your all-time favorite movie was. Do we remember what your all-time favorite movie was?
Okay.
Did you share that?
I think I did.
What is your favorite movie, even if it's changed since the last time?
Yeah, no, it hasn't changed. My all-time favorite movie is Summersby.
And why does it connect so much with you? Share with the listeners that.
I just, I love the love story. I mean, it's I love the love story of, he was kind of fake at first, it's with Richard Gere and Jodie Foster, but, he was fake at first, but I love that he was willing to sacrifice his life for love. And it just makes me always wonder, when we say love and now with, divorces, 58% of marriages are getting divorced. It makes me really wonder how deeply do we really love?
Yeah, very cool.
That's why I like that.
So here's how we work this version of Fun Street with you. I'm going to say something to you, and I want the first thing that comes to your mind, the thing that resonates the quickest with you, but also lifts you up, makes you feel great, makes you thrive. Okay. I know you're all nervous about this. Ready?
I know. Yeah.
A song you love to hear or that pumps you up.
Bossa Lady.
Wow. Favorite food that's not a dessert.
That's not a dessert. Strawberries.
Favorite dessert.
Pumpkin pie.
Something you wish you did more of.
Dance.
Something you wish you did less of.
Sit here by. Oh, Brian's going by Lou.
There he is. Something you wish you did less of. Wish you had Brian crash your meetings.
Crashing into my Facebook Live.
For the listeners, they need to know that Brian just popped in.
Seeing as how it's live, Selma, where are you, hon? Get on the screen.
all I really want to know is how come you're wearing a shirt?
Huh? How come you're wearing a shirt?
Was that you?
No, it wasn't him. It was Hal Elrod.
Oh,
that's okay. That's another podcast show. Another guy would look like.
Okay. I'm like kicking.
So I think you just answered the question. Something you wish you did less of was have Brian walk in on your meetings.
Good Lord. Yeah, no, something I wish I do less of right now is sit here.
Sit here. Understood.
Sit here. We're tied to these things right now. Yeah, I wish I was I had more movement right now.
Jen, if you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, where are you?
Where am I? Aruba.
Ooh.
I love Aruba.
Oh, I know what music we're going to take this song out to. The last thing I want is Jen is a superstar and motivator. And I love this because you said it was someone else gave you this name. You are the implementation ninja. And I will let people know, having worked a full day conference with this woman where we not only presented and gave keynotes, but we managed an entire day of a conference room together in a room. She's like a drill sergeant and making sure that things get done when they need to. What is the key in your mind? What is the key thing that you have about yourself that makes you this implementation ninja? What is it? Something that you've had your entire life? Some attribute of yours?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's totally my entire life because I spent my entire life proving instead of living, and now I'm living instead of proving to people. But I'm just results oriented. I like to see the results, and if you're familiar with DISC, I'm not a D. I'm actually an I, but I really want to have a lot of fun doing it. But do we get the results?
That's so you.
Do we have fun? But are we done? Do we get there? And that's why I did the 12-week year. It's like I just want results.
I love it. And by the way, I think how many 12 weeks years have we had in 2020? Because that's what I feel like.
No, but I'll tell you, it's a lot of work. And technically, you're supposed to do it all year long. I mean, if you think about it, it's a quarter, right? Yeah. You're supposed to do it every quarter. I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm old now. I don't have it in me anymore. So
let me tell you, if I could look as good as you are, as old as you might think you are, you definitely are young at heart, for certainly.
Thank you.
Jen du Plessis, thank you so much for coming on Thrive Loud Live. This has been so much fun. Everyone, I'll put all the links in the show notes for everyone know where to find you. And again, great to catch up with you.
You too. You too. Thank you so much. Great happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Same to you. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.